Very good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring. How are you folks doing tonight? How are you doing? Good to have each and every one of you here. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button. But first, let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear, good folks. How are you all doing this evening? How are you all doing? Please. Let us know. Penelope, Michaela, Erwin, Brenda, Mandy, Dolly, Roberto. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Katian, good to have you. Anne-Marie, good to see you too. Bantu, Humi. Good to have the whole band here tonight. The whole band here. It's a privilege to be here once more, folks. Another day, another week, bringing you the valid and credible information. Happy to have all of you here. We made sure that we dress for work. Who like it, Gotta do what you gotta do. Mandy says loud and clear. I love people who understand the assignment, like Mandy and Penelope and Roxanne, Tessa, Humi, Patricia. Good to have all of you on the broadcast this evening, folks. How you all doing? Upright Youth, Bridge Mohan. Good to have you, Roxanne, Odessa Jacobs. Mark, good to see you too. Angela Ben, Angela Jordan. Good to have all of you here. And Vincent is here as well. Desiree Thomas. Great to have Desiree. Folks, it's about time others receive the valid, credible information as well as just the facts. That's how we did wrong these parts. Credible sources in the ring. That's how we do it. Pace and power. Sandra, I see you there. Sandra said, too blessed to be stressed. That's how we love it. That's how we want it. A good evening to all of you. Elizabeth Williams, good to see you too. Our friends in Linden, especially my friend who I called over the weekend, surprised you. Good to have you on the live tonight as well, and all the other folks who are joining us. You are just as important, because without you all, 400, 500 of you watching us 3 minutes into the broadcast, we ain't going no place. We just be here talking to ourselves. Good to see you, Desiree Thomas. Jolly is here too. Dolly. Deborah, we see you too. Rena Marks. Dorrit, good to see you, Dorrit. Is it Dorrit Gibbons? Angela Jordan is here. Diane, Michaela, Dolly, good to have you. Dorrit Gibbons, indeed. Didn't see wrong. Brenda Henry, good to see you. My grandfather, my mother's father, was Henry. Family, is you? Good to see you, family. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you all are joining us from tonight. We're fired up, folks, and ready to go. Ready to enter this new term of parliament. I saw, is it Odessa? Odessa Primus asking whether they're convening parliament. Oh, that's a nice thing, like that. When are they convening parliament? What's the hold up? What's the hold up? If you had a protracted election, I could see. Signed, seen, and delivered in your favor, and yet, the highest legislative body in this country, the National Assembly, can't meet yet. National Assembly take one. We got work to do. We got some policy initiatives to push forward. We got some legislative agenda to bring to you. Good to have all of you on the live tonight. Even if them boys ain't ready, y'all know them. Them boys, y'all know them. Even if they're ready, we here. And slap your tongue sometimes. Good to have all of you here, wherever you all are joining us from. Folks, as per normal, as per usual, it's a privilege. Nothing short of privilege. Happy to have all of you here with us tonight. And we got some things we're going to run by you folks in just a little bit. Don't go nowhere. Please and thank you. Give us an easy time. Will you? Won't you? Mandy, Deborah, Yvette, Everil, Mr. Campbell, Rena, Sheena. Good to have all of you here. Humi say hit the thumbs up button, please and thank you. Humi, thank you for that. Sometimes you got to lead them to the water, right? Hit the thumbs up button on YouTube, Humi says, and share the live if you haven't already. Now, I love me some folks who understand the assignment. You hear me? They're not liming. They understand the assignment and they're getting the work done. They are getting the work done. That being said, good folks, the opener tonight, Dr. Terence Campbell, our parliamentary lead, the leader of the APNU parliamentary team in the National Assembly. He sat down quite recently with one and only Svetlana Marshall, fantastic journalist, Svetlana Marshall. Fantastic journalist. And he spoke a couple of things, rolled out a couple of things, keeping you all informed with what we're doing on our side. Now, that's the opener tonight, folks. Dr. Terence Campbell sits down with Svetlana Marshall just over the weekend. Take a look, take a listen.
Following its devastating performance in the 2025 elections, the Partnership for National Unity has already made some leadership changes. For starters, the leader will not lead the party in Parliament. Leading the party would be Dr. Terence Campbell.
Starting with my appointment to the Investment Committee of the Natural Resource Fund, I think that Mr. Norton has always given me latitude to take decisions, but he has been a politician for 50-something years, 50 plus years. He's been in Parliament before. He's been leader of the opposition. I think it would be unwise for me not to lean on his experience, not to consult with him. So it's actually an advantage.
This comment came even as people are calling for Aubrey Norton's head. This is happening a mere 3 years after Norton was overwhelmingly elected as leader of the People's National Congress reform. And the calls have intensified in the wake of several resignations from the party.
I know Mr. Williams, I know Mr. Holder, and I know Mr. Mason to a lesser degree. Whether it be business or a political party, after the kind of result that we experienced on September 1st, people will leave. It's just a natural part of the process.
Dr. Campbell also made an interesting observation.
And I've met comrades who have not had a proper job for 5 years, simply because they have been party comrades. They have been shut out from private sector jobs, shut out from political jobs. And now with the party facing what is likely another 5 years out of power, there are some people going to leave. They're going to leave for all kinds of reasons. Some of them will probably just leave because they're associated with the party, and that limits their ability to get jobs.
He said that in the face of the departures, the party has to rebuild.
The party is not about a single person. At the end of the day, as bad as it was, almost 80,000 people voted for the party. And so the party is not going to die with these departures. The party is not going to die. Even if Mr. Norton left tomorrow, it wouldn't die. And it certainly would not die. It would hardly move the needle if Terence Campbell left. People will leave, and, what the party has to do is work on its rejuvenation.
Yeah. And that point that Dr. Terence Campbell raises about people not being able to get work because of the party you associate, that is totally wrong. That's against the Constitution in this country, and yet it's a practice. People discriminate against you, especially the PPP. Oh, you belong to APNU, you belong to some other place? Can't get a work here? That's wrong. And more than any other time in this nation's history, we have the money. We have the money for inclusive governance, inclusive development. But still, in their minds, twisted and thwarted, warped minds, they believe if they deny you something, that's going to make them better, put them in a better spot, give them an advantage. It's such short-term thinking. It's nothing short of amazing. Short-term thinking. There I said it, too vex. I said it already. Starting over the weekend, it was on Sunday, had a long, beautiful, quiet drive to Linden, and sat down and talked with the outgoing or former mayor. I think Sharma resigned and quite recently. Right. Former mayor, outgoing mayor, incumbent, whatever you want to call it. Fantastic Fantastic, fantastic. A gentleman, of course, as you know, almost needs no introduction. And again, our senior, Adam Harris, he's going to walk us through some of what I spoke with Sharma about over the weekend. Take a look.
Despite the collapse of a portion of the Mackenzie-Westmore Bridge, no work is being undertaken on the bridge. Linden Mayor Sharma Solomon said that 2 councillors are part of the bridge committee.
What we recognize in the continued maintenance of them is whenever the request is made to government, it is done at their own time. So
He said that one example was found when the government was preparing for its political campaign in Linden.
the bridge was set for repairs the said week. In fact, the area that the young lady fell in and would have been injured was cordoned off to be repaired the said week. It was not done because of that rally.
People were asked to use an incomplete bridge. This was to facilitate the PPP rally. No repairs continued after the rally.
At this moment, the bridge is in a state where you have pieces are literally falling through the bridge. And you have, at this moment, some amount of repairs taking place, which, as we have said before, is insufficient with the amount of work and damages to the
He
bridge.
said that the government is in no hurry to remedy the situation. He quoted Minister Juan Echelas saying that the people were living with the existing conditions before. The inference is that they can continue.
Minister Agil came to Linden a few Decembers ago, last December before, when you had several motorists complaining about damages to their vehicle and wheel and tires and things like that. And it was through NISL and Minister Agil that those people were paid compensation because the bridge damaged their equipment and their vehicles. I can't understand how the Prime Minister now didn't even remember that and trying to throw blame at the council when even the government through its ministry have been paying compensation for damages incurred at that bridge. And it's
Yep. Incoming member of the National Assembly, Sharma Rahim Solomon, walking us through the issues that touch and concerns the Wisdom Mackenzie Bridge in my born tongue. That's my born tongue, Linden. I was born at Mackenzie. Who no. We want to run you guys through a couple issues that have occurred over the last 24 to 48 hours and see if any of it resonates with you. And then we're going to, on the other side of this, we're going to be talking with a guest that I spoke with early on in the day on another bridge, and see if you share the same concerns that my guest share. Spoke with him early on in the day, and in Judea, he got some serious concerns with this other bridge. Take a look at some of the other issues we're covering this evening. First up, folks, first up. I know how much you all got 40,000 to spare to stay at a local hotel. Yeah, you heard me correctly. The government is trying to bring down the costs. Have we got the pension up to 40,000 yet? It was a promise 5 years ago. Has we got it up? Have we gotten it up to 40,000 as yet? I can see our seniors taking the whole pension to go and stay at a hotel. They're trying to bring down the cost. To put a price cap, as they say, on hotel rooms for locals. So just in case you haven't gone to Eden by Best Western as yet, or the Marriott or the Pegasus, take your pick. Talking about short time. We talking about proper $200 for the 1,000 flat. That's what they're looking at. According to Minister of Tourism, Sonia Rodriguez. According to her, the government is exploring this 200 US. Listen to this. Don't run away. It's not per week. It's not per month. Per night price cap on hotel accommodations for Guyanese and diaspora travelers. Yeah. 200 per night. So that honeymoon that you miss, the honeymoon that we miss. We're going Marriott, baby. We're going Marriott. She said the visits arrivals, according to the minister, they've increased by about 18%. And more than 50 new hotels that are under construction I think they're trying to find gas with these hotels, you know. I think they're trying to find gas in these hotels. So you can take your pension and go and stay in a hotel. 15 new hotels are under construction. So this is increase the country's room stock from roughly 4,200 to 6,400 rooms available. Somebody got to stay in them. Might as well take a pension. Take a night. So the minister's proposing to establish a tourism desk at ports of entry, a number of other things. $200 US or a month pension for a night to live large. Suck insult for the rest of it. Your thoughts? don't leave us there. Your thoughts, please, and thank you. My God. Workplace safety, industrial health and safety. Well, you all know where we are. You all know where we are in that. We're being told that a Cuban worker was killed at Bachelor's Adventure when a wall, we're being told a substandard wall, 15 feet high, 20-foot long, concrete wall collapsed at a Chinese-owned construction site at Bachelor's Adventure, pinning this young man, Mr. Martinez, pinning him. He succumbed to his injuries. He said he was retrieving his motorcycle when he was pinned under this rubble. Okay. And we're told that, listen to this, the proprietor or the property manager kept no records of workers' names. I was absent at the time. We're being told, in typical Ministry of Labor fashion, an investigation has been launched. You always hear this, but you don't hear it going. Neither do you hear how it concludes. Occupational health and safety practices in a bad spot in this country, with persons calling for stricter inspections after this Martinez tragedy. Carnage on our roads and our waterways. Don't we talk about it often? Don't we? Slow down. Let me arrive alive. We told a driver and a passenger were killed in a hill-foot collision. Sherwin James from Moblissa Village and his passenger Alex, no surname given, like 2 days ago when a motor car collided with a lorry on the Linden Highway. Thoughts and prayers with the family. They said a lorry driver, one Sawaran Lachman, he swerved and brakes after seeing the car in his lane. Breathalyzer test showed no alcohol in his system. James died at the scene while Alex, they told us, later succumbed to his injuries. Other occupants, we told, remain hospitalized. Thoughts and prayers with all the families. We got to slow down. Drive with caution, care, consideration, concern. Please and thank you. Show caution, consideration. All is the 5 C's. 5 C's. Billions coming our way. More oil should be pumping shortly, soon. Are you guys feeling the benefit? You're feeling the benefit? Hey, when you pump, you're supposed to see something, feel something. No, we're pumping a lot of oil. But after that, full stop. People not seeing the benefits. Yesterday morning on our broadcast, we walked through some of what people have been telling Starbuck News in that Monday column, how the cost of living affecting people. And none of it is good. Costs keep skyrocketing all the time. Who's sharing their life tonight? Some of y'all want to share your life because you're peeping. You're frightened if them boys see you sharing it. You're not on the bread line. Gotta do what you gotta do. Where all this money from oil going? Where the money going? Exxon said they're investing $6.8 billion. $6.8 billion. And they should be producing 150,000 barrels of oil through this new well injection here by 2029, bringing the total up to 1.5 million barrels per day. Per day. How you folks faring? How the cost of living affecting y'all? How is it affecting y'all? We got to get more out of it. As I said when we started, we're at a point in our nation's history when we're producing more than we ever did before. We got it. We got it answer. We got the thing, the car gauge. Was it in your pocket? Or is it just for friends, family, and favorites? Now that's something we got to watch. That's something we got to watch, good folks. And look at this. Businessman from Diamond. If you stand up too long in this country, I told you, they go with you. You are better take care. You better take care. So here is this Diamond businessman remanded for trafficking. 49-year-old Alvin Parag. Diamond housing scheme. Charged. All you better don't stand up one place too long. Paulette. I'm too old for the traffic, but they won't get much. Back in the day. Back in the day. There used to be somebody in this town. Bernadette. How much you'd fetch? Yvette, Sharon, Judith, Linden, Mandy, how much you'd fetch? You stand up one place too long, they go with you, Alvin. He'd go with you. So he's charged with trafficking a 31-year-old Cuban woman between March 29 and June 7th. Appeared before Senior Magistrate Judy Lachman, the Diamond Magistrates Court, pleading not guilty. And he's remanded to prison until the 6th of September, the 6th of October rather. The 6th of October. You see, that is why we took very careful note. When it was the FBI who met with Anil Nandalal, the Attorney General, about 2 years ago, and he said, we don't only want arrests, we don't only want charges, but we want convictions as well. Too many trafficking cases start like this, you know. Pretty Militia, Rena Marks, Cheryl, Berkshire. Too many of it start like this and they go no place. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. They go no place. We're watching it. So not only charges, not only arrests, you gotta get some convictions too. Charlene Denise, we making sense? Human Services wants that they're looking for efficiency. When we read this headline, my man went back to the WIN program under the Ministry of Human Services. I think they should start there. Should start there. Don't harass the hard-working staff of the Ministry of Human Services, rather. Remember the social protection. Same difference. Start there. Because the Auditor General pointed out the many inefficiencies of a program that Vindia boasts as a flagship program for the ministry. Has that been rectified as yet? Has it? Has it? Has it? You know, now that they're coming back into the fray, you're getting all these lofty headlines, as we said, a lot of them flitting about the place. A lot of movements, but progress, questionable. A lot of movements, but development, extremely, bigly questionable. Now, this other headline, Mandy, is for you. Mimi, Mark, Andrew, Desiree. This other headline is for y'all. Right? It's for y'all because some of y'all have neglected us. Some of y'all have neglected us. And so they tell us financial neglect counts as domestic abuse. This is according to the Ghana Police Force. Now, I wanted y'all to hear that from me frontally. I don't want y'all go and nobody's got to say and say, oh, Duncan say, I telling you to your face, because we're big people, right? Huh? We're not big people, but we've been abandoned. We've been, Andrew Brand watching us from Suriname, Thank you so much for tuning in, Andrew. Some of y'all have abandoned us. This is abuse now. One superintendent of Ghana Police Force, Shelon Daniels, she was speaking at a forum in which she said that withholding financial support from your favorite evening show and your morning show is abuse. She was talking about, instead, folks, I was just playing with you a little bit there. She said that withholding financial support from your spouse or your partner, same difference. Withholding, how many of you are withholding from your spouse or your partner is a form of domestic abuse and can be prosecuted, young and wise up now, under Ghana Domestic Violence Act. And here is the superintendent, shines in you all, urging victims to seek maintenance through the courts and stress that economic control undermines the stability of the household. Right. And she also pointed out that this same Family Violence Act gives the police the authority to intervene and to provide assistance. But don't let me go so far. We understand how we've been feeling, right? And we got to pick up ourselves a little bit. Pick up ourselves a little bit. Financial neglect counts as domestic abuse, according to the Ghana Police Force. Yvette, Patriot, Homie and Marcia. Patricia, good to see you there as well. As we on the police, here's another one for you. You know, another one for you. We watch and say, huh? Reluctant witnesses. Yeah, bring prosecution. Some you always see. Once the police step in, you stop see. You stop see far. You only see in there now. Right? This is at the senior police officers briefing. Just today, near toll of reluctant witnesses, victims settling cases out of court, and the difficulty of obtaining evidence are undermining successful prosecution. And we told that Assistant Commissioners Carly Pazram, Dion Moore, and Curly Simon said criminals often reoffend because the cases collapse, and they emphasize the need for new technology and community cooperation to secure convictions. We got to work together on it. Together on it. I think that's the point they're raising. Once police come, I ain't seen nothing. I wasn't here. I didn't know. My eyes ain't too good. Once they got, I see the whole thing, top to bottom. We know the whole thing. Yeah. Sadly, that's why a lot of things settling out of court. You know. Let justice be done, though. That's the way it should be. Let justice be done. Silica City. My God. If you got paid $200 US, $40,000, your whole pension, one night for a hotel room. How you out buying houses in Silica City? In this environmentally friendly community along the Linden Suzdijk Highway. This is going to include, listen to this, condominiums and townhouse designs. Listen to this, targeting diaspora buyers. It's not for us Guyanese. It's for y'all. If I didn't know y'all would have jealous y'all, Cheryl. You got your house in Silica City. Miss Shortest, Chinsing Henry, Gladstone, Mark. You got your BHS. I know you got your millions. You got your house in Silica City. Jamal Aziz. I know you got the dancer. You got your house in this place here. Silica City. Irfan City. You got your house there. You have a room in a hotel. The local is 40,000. You must be paying 40,000 million for a house in Silica City. You think it's so? They said they're aiming to provide about 15,000 homes. The first phase, 110 homes. Listen to this now. Listen to the cost of the homes. Tell me if you're ready. The cost of the homes, the cost, $27 million to $35 million per home. It's only the diaspora got a kind of money. It's only the diaspora got a kind of money. You got it like the Adele, Neville, Marcia, Deborah. You got it like the 27 to $35 million for home in Silica City. It's only the diaspora got the money, sir. You all know your 2-3 jobs. What's not? God bless you all. You pull back and send a little remittances. 27 to $35 million. Yeah. That's the sum of y'all. We saw as well the European Union delegation in Guyana encouraging GECOM, urging GECOM to implement some of the election observer recommendation to seriously strengthen public trust. Mind you, the ambassador, René Van Ness, his tour of duty comes to an end. I think tomorrow he's returning to Europe. He must be so glad to go home, go back to sanity. He must be so glad, René Van Ness. I was thinking about my guest there. He must be so glad to get out of this madhouse. It's just you and we left here. It's just you and us. He said, implement, strengthen, restore trust in the institution. But you think that's going to happen? You think that's going to happen? What's happening at GECOM? Thank you for your service, Ambassador. Thank you for your service to our country. I think we're made a little better because you are here. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw the Ghana Human Rights Association saying if the Constitution Reform Commissioner making sense, squash the whole thing. Let them boy resign, we wasting money. The Ghana Human Rights Commission squash the whole thing. Former Chief Justice Carl Singh was making a lot of excuses quite recently, a number of excuses. You know, the whole thing, top to bottom, he can get it right. He can get it right one way or the other. But here is the head of the Ghana Human Rights Association. Squash the whole thing. All of them should resign. According to the Ghana Human Rights Association. And he says instead, put in or let the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Constitutional Reform take the lead over this reform process. Take the lead. You see, they don't like Ghana Human Rights Association at all. At all. If they could click the finger, like what's his name from Avenger, and the Ghana Human Rights Association disappear. That is, you know. Thanos, click the finger. Thanos in your skin. They would like that. They would like that. These entities must function. Some of them over functioning. GECOM, they're not only stealing elections, they're stealing millions. We were told that about $400 million went to GECOM to pay their election day staff. And somebody swiped up $5 million. You see, people look to see what's happening at the top, you know. And people take their cue. Y'all remember how this country rather, has not been the same since Janet threw that court order over our shoulder so many years ago, and we're still feeling the impact of that kind of lawlessness. People watch to the top, say, look at them guys living in a big house. Minister got a mansion. Minister got apartment building. Minister got Hummer. Minister got this, that, Rolls Royce. 5 million take one. But we're also being told it's the wrong person that's being held. The wrong person has been held by the police. Let justice be done. Let justice be done. So I'm told one person being held, a number of persons being questioned by the police. Number of persons. Following that. We're following that. You know, what is quite striking? You remember the 2020 election? Seems like a lifetime ago. You remember? All of those boxes on the East Coast, coming out of villages that traditionally favors the PPP, did not have this statutory documentation. All of them, 49 boxes. No poll book, no this, no that. So you couldn't reconcile how these ballots got into this box. 47 of them. I say that to say, stranger than fiction. And they claim they allege, APNU AFC rigged that election, attempted to rig, but in their boxes, they didn't have the documents. In similar fashion, the same people who allege rigging, it's the same people who burn in the logs, burn in their diaries, burn in their notebooks. We're being informed that Lennox Schumann, when he was asked about the veracity for proof of this alleged rigging, you kept notes, you kept a diary, said he burned it. Post 2020. That's what Schumann said. What our folks are reporting to us. He said he burned it. This is very, very reflective, similar to another incident that we learned of coming out of this very election fraud case. Because in May, we were told that former Region 4 Police Commander Edgar Thomas testified that he had burned his official Ghana police force diaries containing information related to the 2020 election. So they said the thing was rigged, and who rigged, an attempt to rig. But nobody over here burned nothing. The people who said they are the saints, they have clean hands. According to that third maxim, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. They got clean hands and they're burning the books. Why is that? Why is that? Folks, highly suspect. Highly suspect. Get it right. They're going to get it right. One way or the other, they're going to get it right. They got to get it right. One way or the other. Government said they want to improve the landfill. Stranger than fiction, folks. Stranger than fiction. They want to improve landfill sites. Right? They plan to improve the landfill sites. I could recommend some folks for the landfill site. This is according to a minister within the ministry. I think of this housing. Which ministry you got? Vanessa Benin. Pre-Manager Chan, Colin Cole, Vanessa Ben met with officials from several agencies today to plan for new modern landfill site. Money apportioned for this since the last budget. Since the last government. They can't finish it yet. Can't finish it yet. They repeatedly tell us Higgs Bush, inundated, overcapacity. And they can't fix it. Fix it, man. Oh. This is what you get elected to do. Might be paid to do. So pick up your foot and let me go along the road. Folks, earlier today, I spoke with an engineer, one Richard Hoyt, who has some serious concern. about the new Demar Harbour Bridge, the new Harbour Bridge. Remember I told you I saw some people folks with more eye. No, the whole thing top to bottom. So we going on the bridge. If road in front of eye breaking up, disintegrating, annihilating, you know, Thanos disappearing. I put in me life. And I go wait a little bit. Right? See, after the load testing, after the road testing, the bus testing, we can see how it's going. And then we can make a decision from there. Earlier today, folks, I sat down with engineer Richard Hoyt. This is what he told me. Take a look, take a listen, and see if some of these concerns that Richard raises, see if they resonate with you folks. Take a look and take a listen. Right? Take a look and take a listen. Richard Hoyt, folks. Richard Hoyt. Do we have it? Do we? Do we have it, folks? I think we do.
To be talking to Richard Hoyt, who is an engineer, and we're going to have a discussion on the new Demar Harbour Bridge, because Richard in that field has some concerns. Tell us a little bit about your engineering background, and then we're going to move to those concerns you have about the new Harbour Bridge.
Hi, thank you, Sherrod. As you said, my name is Richard Hoyt. I'm an engineer by profession. I studied at University of Ghana. I studied at Baki Graduate University in the United States, and I also studied at the College of Estate Management in the UK.
Aptly qualified, very qualified.
Yes, thank you. And I have a number of years of experience working in the oil and gas sector also. So from the looks of what's happening on the Demar Harbour Bridge, it is very concerning to me.
What stands out to you?
Yeah, well, mainly it's the location of the bridge. I recall during the AP and UAFC coalition government, there was a feasibility study done where the bridge was supposed to move for sales on the West Bank and come all the way over to, I think it was Houston, right? And that study was done by, I think it's Liven's CSO Engineering. And so since this government took office in 2020, we don't know what happened to that feasibility study, if another feasibility study was done, and what was really the outcome of that feasibility study. But we see a new Harbour Bridge coming from the same location at Jovera Park, coming all the way over. But this time, it lands, Sherrod, in an urban community. It's landing somewhere in the vicinity of Windsor Estate. And I must tell you that the livelihood, or the life as people of Windsor Estate, Eccles, Providence, know it, will never be the same. And I'll tell you why.
Before we get to that urban area, what is perhaps the natural impact of the Versailles versus the other landing spot, just in that vicinity, without coming into Windsor just yet?
Okay.
The physical bridge.
Well, let me say, Kingston is already in Georgetown. And so it's closer to, even if you want to create a new bus park or a new bus terminal, or what you may term like a substation, it was already there. There wasn't much infrastructure that was required for commuting from Kingston to the city. And so this is an issue now, because when you compare it to what is happening in Providence, the location in Providence, then people have to commute when they land over in Providence. They have to now decide how to get to Georgetown, which is another commute, an entirely different commute, right? So if we examine the life, if I may go there now, the livelihood of the people in Eccles, Republic Park, New Republic Park, Providence, even Horstelling and Farm, is that what you will find happening is that you will wake up one morning, possibly at the end of this month, and find people standing waiting for minibus public transportation in front of your gap.
Have you seen any public notices to the effect of the creation of bus stops there?
Absolutely not.
A new bus park. You talk about the livelihoods being affected, and one of the immediate ones would be M&M, which benefits a lot from commuters coming off the old Harbour Bridge.
Correct.
There.
Yes. And getting meals and so on for their their survival up and down the East Bank. But look at this. As a resident of Eccles, Windsor Estate and so on, there's going to be sand trucks passing your homes, sand trucks speeding through, minibuses speeding through, public transportation speeding through, taxis, and all the commuting public
more
from
noise,
West
more
Bank,
dust.
more noise, more dust, more
Republic
congestion.
Park, Windsor Estate, those are quote-unquote residential
Those
areas.
are residential communities which could possibly be affected by this impact of transportation in their communities and lowering also their property value.
One of the things I noticed, for instance, with the Kanji Bridge, I want to put it gently, life beneath the Kanji Bridge, their houses there.
Yes.
But it doesn't seem vibrant. But if you notice, that bridge comes over Republic Park.
Yes.
And already the houses there seems in the shadow of the new Harbour Bridge.
That's right. That's right. So that is the impact. When we look at transportation, we cannot look at it as in isolation. We have to view it holistically because it adds to development, and it can also impact significantly on the livelihoods of the people. And so this is what we find happening to those residents of those communities. The next thing, if there is no mention, Cheryl, of zoning, where public transportation, when it comes off of that bridge and lands in front of Windsor,
Highway, not a bus route.
Where does it go? So there's so many options. They can head to Windsor Estate, head through Windsor Estate. They can turn down Dump Site Road. They can get into Eccles. They can head on to the East Bank Public Road. They can head to Heroes Highway, which is already congested with traffic. So where really does the traveling public travel to get into the city? So we have a situation now, Sherrod, where public transportation can go anywhere they feel like going.
Could it impact on the cost of public transportation? Because the bus
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm coming.
Route,
yes.
To divert back into the city.
That's right. I'm going there now. So the cost of travel from West Bank to Georgetown could never be the same. It cannot. And I'm not saying this to scare the people. This is not fear-mongering, but it is a reality.
It's a discussion we should be,
yes.
A national discussion we should be having.
Yes.
Because of the impact of the new bridge.
Exactly. Yeah. So now people have to come all the way up, heading to South Georgetown, which is where Heroes Highway is. And then you have to turn now and get back into town, into the city, to offload your passengers. Right? So what will happen now is that minibuses and taxis will inevitably charge more. So that is the direct impact on the citizens of this country in their pockets. So it's the traveling public that is affected, and also the residents of the communities are affected now. So that's the situation we're facing. And I believe, Sherrod, that had we stuck to the original plan, which was to take the bridge over from Versailles and land it in Kingston, where the recent administration, the AP and UFC administration, had done a feasibility study and found out that that is the best and most suitable location for that bridge. All of these problems could have been avoided.
In addition to that, are you concerned as an engineer with the fact that there seems to have been a deliberate avoidance to stress test this bridge, and had it not been for public pressure, we would not have it done. I think they're in the process of doing that. Are you concerned about that as an engineer? What is the usefulness for the layman of stress testing a bridge of this magnitude?
Well, Sherrod, let me say this. You cannot overemphasize the need for safety. And if a safety test is required, then it must be done. And what it does, you ask about the layman's perspective, the layman's effect. It puts an ease on the minds of the people. Even if you as an engineer know that this bridge is constructed in the most technically sound manner, and you can rest assured that these things are going to withstand the pressures of traveling loads, moving loads on the bridge, then that is your personal view. There is an engineering function that must be carried out, which is called load testing. And you must not in your own mind decide that load testing is not required because you do not see it fit. You are responsible as the engineer or the subject minister for creating a structure, building a structure that will withstand the test of time and will protect the livelihoods of the traveling public. And let me say this, there was a time in, I think it was North Korea, where an engineer built a bridge that collapsed and people died and he was sentenced to death. Thank God this is not North Korea, and that will never happen here. But I'm saying this to let you know the importance of engineers carrying out their functions effectively. And if we have politicians who would prevent engineers from functioning the way they're supposed to function, then we have a problem.
Yeah. Well, we're thankful that better senses prevail,
yes,
and that bridge is now undergoing the necessary tests. But you did mention studies early on, and one of the things that this government has been quizzed a lot about studies for this new Harbour Bridge, and initially they had said it was a no-brainer. I mean, this could just redound to our benefit and nothing adverse in terms of impact on the environment, etc., etc., etc. Are you concerned with that kind of thinking generally?
Yes, it is that kind of thinking that has us where we are, because there's no zoning for the public transportation. And when the buses start coming over there, it's going to impact the pockets of the traveling public. It's going to impact the residents and the communities of that is the no-brainer we're talking about.
We're talking about no zoning, even on the Heroes Highway.
Even on the Heroes Highway,
traffic lights and so on seem to have been.
Well, we're going to Heroes Highway because let me say this: Heroes Highway is already congested with traffic alone from the East Bank and Georgetown. When you bring now and incorporate into that traffic
thousands of vehicles
coming from West Bank and West Coast, and you dump them onto Heroes Highway, what do you think will happen?
No overpass, no
overpass, no fly. Now I heard there's talk about an overpass, but it's interesting to know where that will go.
Why is it occurring as an afterthought? The same way even the roundabout there, where the traffic is coming off this new Harbour Bridge onto Heroes Highway, seems to have been an afterthought, because at least it didn't go into the original construction
of the road
of Heroes Highway.
Correct. Well, we're going back to the same no-brainer, because we view everything as a no-brainer. That when I say we, I'm talking about the leadership in this country. We view everything as a no-brainer because we don't have any strategic way of planning. Because if there was a strategic way of planning, we would have known that that bridge is going to come and land on Heroes Highway, and there would have been a need for a roundabout there for free flow of traffic. But there wouldn't be free flow of traffic anyway, because when you land on Heroes Highway and you both with traffic coming from the East Bank and traffic coming from Georgetown, and you're stuck there, then another problem occurs where you have an economic cost for the entire nation, because every time there's a traffic jam, there's an economic cost that the nation feels, something that is oftentimes ignored. So these no-brainers are costing us. And that is something that we as citizens need to understand. You know?
Do you see any merit in terms of having a public service announcement, in terms of the usage of the bridge, even the roundabout? Now, this is when I was a child, I used to be afraid the open spaces on the bridge don't have a rail. When the cars pass in there, I would feel now this is a bridge that is much higher than the old Harbour Bridge.
Yeah.
Should there be more, perhaps, public education? It's a bridge that is toll-free as well. And Guyanese are, I think, by and large, reckless in terms of road usage. The lane system on the bridge, who has priority? Is there a priority lane?
Yeah.
You know, the general bridge uses, the height of the bridge. People like me, I don't like heights. You know, that kind of thing.
Most certainly, we cannot overemphasize the need for public education in road use in Guyana. We see what's happening in Guyana daily. My thing is, I believe this bridge has rails throughout the bridge, and so the fear of one, driving off, it should somewhat be released. But when you land, if you look at how the general public uses roundabouts, there must be much enforcement, because I believe at this stage people should know how to use a roundabout. Mm-hmm. But enforcement is what I believe it should be. We have to move away from the point where, and I don't think we will in any rush, but move away from police standing at roundabouts and directing traffic. And I understand why that happens, because if a police doesn't stand at a roundabout, nobody will move freely. And that is because all our roundabouts are poorly designed. They cannot accommodate the volume of traffic coming into them. And here again, we're throwing more traffic into what we call the Jumbie Board roundabout, mm-hmm. and the Jaguar roundabout. So as we throw more volume of traffic into those roundabouts become bottlenecks. And traffic is backed up miles beyond those roundabouts. And that requires now a policeman to come and stand there during rush hour and direct traffic. That is not the purpose of a roundabout. Roundabouts are not designed in that manner.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes,
it defeats the purpose of a roundabout. Now, when we go back to your point of the Harbour Bridge and educating people, yes, of course, there must be education on the use of that bridge also. And I guess this will start again after the fact, when the bridge reopens and the confusion starts. Because when people realize that they're not getting off the bridge fast enough, there's going to be overtaking, undertaking, and that kind of lawlessness, because that is what happens in our society. We cannot shy away from that. Those are facts, right? So my thing is, the public education should have started already, and it should continue even after the opening of the bridge. Those are my thoughts.
You've talked to us on a lot of things here. Are we missing anything with the construction of this new bridge, the operationalizing of this new bridge? Are we missing anything?
I don't think so.
Anything else you want us to know?
Well, my heart really goes out for the people in Eccles, Providence, Nandi Park, Republic Park, New Republic Park, and so on. I don't know how they're going to make out. And let me say this. The residents, the new Busby Dam Road that was opened recently, that road, the residents, they are complaining of sand trucks speeding loud in the middle of the nights. Imagine communities like Windsor Estate, Eccles.
Yeah. And the same kind of thoughtfulness is needed, because one day you had a quiet street, the next day it's a thoroughfare.
Exactly my point. That's what I'm saying.
It impacts the kids, because a quiet street, kids are playing in the streets and so on ordinarily, and then this heavy volume of traffic.
The livelihood as it is will never be the same.
Yeah.
So that is my, and this is not to scare anyone. This is to bring the public up to speed with their reality.
Facts. All right, folks, we've been talking to Richard Hoyt, an engineer by training, very, very qualified. Richard, thank you for your insights on the what some of the other thoughts that should have gone into the construction and operationalizing of the new Harbour Bridge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
All right, folks, and there is where we leave it tonight. Thanks for being such a great audience. Thanks for being such a great guest yourself. And thanks to Richard for being so insightful in that interview earlier today. That's our time, folks, and that's our broadcast. Thanks for staying with us. Have a fantastic, fantastic rest of the evening. That's our time, and that's our broadcast.